So, if you're someone who gets migraines, you know the drill, right? The pain hits and you reach for a painkiller. But today, we're going to talk about a totally different strategy. We're talking about propranolol, a medication that isn't about stopping the pain once it's there, it's about preventing the migraine from ever really getting started. Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, living with frequent migraines, it can feel like you're just stuck in this endless, frustrating loop. It's debilitating and it can just throw your whole life off course. You're always reacting, trying to piece together this puzzle of pain after it's already started. But what if we could flip the script? What if the whole goal wasn't just to put out the fire, but to stop the fire from ever starting in the first place? That's the exact idea we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so how on earth does it do that? It's not magic, right? It's a really targeted approach that works on the underlying systems in your body that can kick off a migraine. Let's dig into the mechanics. So first things first, propranolol is what's called a beta blocker. Now, what's pretty interesting is these were originally developed for things like heart conditions and high blood pressure, but then doctors noticed this amazing side benefit for people suffering from migraines. Now, here's the first part of its one-two punch. Propranolol basically tells your nervous system to just chill out. It blocks the effects of adrenaline, that fight or flight hormone, which helps prevent that state of overexcitement in the brain and nerves that can be a huge trigger for a migraine attack. And here's the second piece of the puzzle. You know that horrible, pounding, throbbing pain? A lot of that comes from blood vessels in your brain widening out too much. Well, propranolol helps to keep those blood vessels stable, preventing them from dilating excessively, and helping to calm down the nerve signals that are tied to an attack. So all of this leads us to what is probably the single most important rule you need to know about propranolol. Seriously, if you get one thing from this explainer, let it be this next point. Okay, listen up, because this is the critical point. This is not a pill you pop when you feel a migraine starting. Let me say that again. It does not treat a migraine that's already in progress. So this slide just lays it out perfectly. An acute painkiller, that's the firefighter you call when the house is already on fire. You take it during the attack. Propranolol, on the other hand, is like installing a sprinkler system. It's a daily defense shield. You take it every single day, consistently, to lower the chances of a fire starting at all and to make them less intense when they do. It's a whole different mindset. Now, this all sounds pretty promising, but you're probably wondering, okay, who is this actually for? Well, it's not a first-line defense for everyone, so let's look at when a doctor might suggest it. And of course, this is super important. This is absolutely a conversation to have with your doctor. We're not playing doctor here. The whole point is to give you the info so you can have a really smart, informed chat with a medical professional who knows your specific situation. So, a doctor will usually consider a preventative, like propranolol, when a few things are true. First, your attacks are happening pretty frequently. Second, they're really messing with your quality of life, your work, your family time. And third, the other treatments you've tried just aren't cutting it. Okay, and you knew this was coming. With any powerful medication, we have to talk about safety. Because propranolol works directly on the heart and circulatory system, there are some really important things to be aware of. And yeah, there's no wiggle room on this. Propranolol is just not a safe choice for everyone. And there are specific medical conditions where it's a definite no-go. See, because it's a beta blocker, it can affect your breathing, which is why it's generally not prescribed for people with asthma. It also naturally slows the heart rate. So if you already have a very slow heart rate, that's called bradycardia, or you have low blood pressure, this medication is just not for you. It's also good to be aware of the potential side effects. Some of the most common things people report are feeling tired or a bit dizzy, and noticing that their hands and feet are cold, which is due to the changes in circulation. And just to hammer this home, this typically needs a prescription from a specialist who can really evaluate if it's the right fit for you. So let's just boil it all down to one key idea. The whole point of propranolol isn't to be a magic bullet for a single headache. The real win, the goal, is a better quality of life because you're having fewer and much less severe migraines over the long haul. And that brings us to our final thought. For anyone caught in that awful cycle of recurring migraines, the question isn't just how to treat the next attack, but how to stop it from coming. So based on what we've covered, could shifting your focus to prevention be the right conversation for you to have with your doctor?